Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic is finding flow. How do we find a way to be living life in flow, in greater ease, that we may allow life to guide us so that we experience a greater fulfillment and expression. That's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. Good morning, Rosalind. Welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. And welcome to everybody else who's joining us. Let's take a minute or two to get present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light, lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, your molecules, your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together, vigorously rub your hands together to feel the friction, the temperature, the pressure, the motion, the tickling and tingling when you stop. And allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables us to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, finding flow. What is that? Flow, for one, is the lack of resistance. And how much energy do we spend fighting flow, fighting life itself, fighting the direction of how things are emerging in our lives? Deciding it shouldn't be this way, it should be that way instead, and trying to force things and trying to muscle things into an idea or channel or pathway that we think things should go, and maybe life has other ideas for us. It's really interesting how we are so inclined to push the river, so to speak, to try to swim upstream through the rapids rather than finding some kind of rhythm and dance with life itself rather than trying to force it to be something different. We're such a goal-driven society, and that it goes back to the conversation around doing, that we revere doing above being, about our state of being, which generates its own form of doing, but with lesser resistance, right? And we have ideas about how things should work, how nature should work, how life should work, um, how we create value in the world. And oftentimes, the things that we pursue so hotly to create so-called value actually can generate destructive patterns and consequences that then require lots of cleanup. I mean, we can see that in our industrialization, where our rush to create all kinds of things has led to extractive practices and polluting practices and climate changing and environmentally devastating practices, because we've pushed ahead into progress to try to conquer nature, conquer ourselves, to overcome. And I think that culturally, we need a massive paradigm shift to be able to generate a lifestyle that is sustainable for not only ourselves, but for the planet. I think we can, in our rush to productivity, we put blinders on a lot of times, and thereby make ourselves oblivious to the consequences of our actions. And not one of the minor consequences is the effect that that has on our very being, to be overriding our soul. I'm not saying don't explore the edges. I'm not saying don't coax and encourage yourself into new arenas, to stepping into the uncomfortable in order to grow. I'm not talking about avoiding that in any way. I am talking about asserting our will uh, in a forceful rather than a powerful way. I guess that's a nuanced distinction. But ultimately, if we can find flow, if we can live in alignment with life and in alignment with our our heart and soul, we come into our greatest expression, which is finding our greatest fulfillment. So I know it can be frustrating when life doesn't unfold at the speed that we would like it to, in terms of our vision for ourselves and our lives, when we have a deep soul calling and life isn't running on the schedule that we want it to. I'm reminded of a client who was adamant about knowing that they have a role as a teacher and a leader, and who has encountered great frustration at the fact that the circumstances of life haven't presented that opening for them yet. And it's kind of wanting to push the river. And I had many a conversation with this person to say, the truth is, you need to go through what you're going through now, which is schooling you to become who you know yourself to be. And I think that this is one of the things that we don't necessarily recognize about life. Having had some more years, I'm able to look back and see how all these puzzle pieces fit together, even through my frustration, even through my eagerness and ambition, that looking back, it's almost like there was a system or a systematic way that things were coming together from all different avenues, including all the frustrations that I experienced on the way. And this is where the power of intention comes into play as more impactful than goals, because the intention, goals are time bound and they're very specific, and we either meet them or we don't meet them. It's kind of a pass fail system. Whereas intentions are kind of an overarching context, and allowing ourselves to move into intention, we can be modifying the expression of those intentions in multitudes of ways. They're adaptable and it's not time bound. And we can, I guess you can recreate goals as well, but goals carry with them this pass fail kind of mentality, whereas intentions, the way that I'm experiencing it is that the intention is the underlying tone, is the vibration that's carrying the rest of the music, so to speak. And having that intention kind of allows us to find flow and to partner with the universe to say, okay, this is my intention. I don't know exactly how it's going to unfold. I'm allowing greater intelligence to help shape that journey, to guide that navigating through whatever landscapes I need to traverse in order to get to the fulfillment of that intention. I wonder if you can feel into the difference of goals versus intentions, and being versus doing. So when we be present to our intention, when we be in a place of connection to that intention playing itself out, even if it's playing itself out in ways that we don't particularly understand. So I guess maybe intention married with trust, and commitment, that intention is unfolding. It's kind of setting setting something onto autopilot in a way. When we hold an intention, it's kind of saying, okay, here's the ultimate objective, and whatever that vehicle is, we're sort of setting it to find its way, almost like some kind of artificial intelligence, or maybe not artificial intelligence, some kind of greater intelligence that has the ability to take us to where we are meant to go. And when we're in alignment with that intentionality, it kind of unfolds, and often in very unexpected and magnificent ways, where all of a sudden there's an opportunity to connect with a group of people that are the exact people that you were needing to communicate with. Good morning, Dido. Welcome. So good to have you here with us this morning. Yay. It's so great to have you guys here. You ladies here. It's awesome. So we're talking about finding flow, and it's kind of, wow, all of a sudden Restream just disappeared, and so now I need to sign in again. So I don't know what happened to our broadcast, if it disappeared or not. Let's see, I'm just signing back in to Restream. I don't think I've had that happen before, where it just blipped off in the middle of a broadcast, but here we are. Oh boy. Okay, let's try this again. Oh my, this is so crazy. Wow. Okay, unbelievable. We're working on it, guys. Oh my. You gotta love Restream. Oh man. Unbelievable. Okay, hopefully we're back. Uh, Restream just sort of blipped out right in the middle of things and then made me go through this ridiculous verify that you're human process where you get to click on all these different images and then it doesn't believe you. So it shows you another set, another set. Talk about finding flow, right? So I think that it's a little bit of a beautiful irony that that showed up in the middle of this communication. I don't even know if it's still going on Facebook now or not. I should check. Uh, anyway, in the past, had something like that happened in the middle of a broadcast, I think I just would have been beside myself. I wouldn't have known. Yeah, I would have just gotten so anxious and upset rather than just going with the flow of it to say, okay, it is what it is. We get to just allow it to unfold. So it Dido said it looks like we were still live on YouTube through that whole thing. I don't know if we're back on Facebook. If we are, I'd really appreciate it if you could chime in to see if we're live on Facebook. But anyway, it's kind of funny that that should show up in the context of being in the flow and not resisting. It is what it is. We get to roll with it, and by rolling with it, it allows us to be resilient, right? It allows us to be dancing with life instead of trying to wrestle it to the ground. I mean, it's not that we can't wrestle it to the ground on occasion. We certainly can, but it takes so much energy and so much effort. Why not just dance with it? You know, it's like, okay, here's the circumstance. Now what? and we can get ourselves all freaked out about it, or we can be present and do what the moment calls for and be responsible in the context of whatever challenge befalls us, or whatever challenge presents itself. So I think adopting the thing that's probably made the biggest difference for me in being able to do that, without my blood pressure going through the roof or my heart rate getting elevated or whatever, is to have adopted and continue to be adopting the notion that life is happening for me and through me. And so whatever is arising is serving me and my evolution in my life. And when I receive life that way, when I receive the life's challenges in that way, from that space, then it makes it much easier to dance and to be available to life and available for its gifts uh, and experiences. It enables us to be present to the experiences of life. So I'm guessing we're not back on Facebook. Oh, Dido says I'm still here. It's just not showing up on, and Rosalind says still here. That's interesting. It's just not showing up on Restream. Well, I'm delighted that you're still here. And this is an opportunity for us to really experience being in the flow together, right? It's funny how we got an example, like we got a lesson of this is how it works, right? Like water off a duck's back, is that what they say? It's just allowing life circumstances without getting too crazed by them. And when we do get crazed by the circumstances, to maybe allow ourselves to recover more quickly. So I find the whole thing rather it's funny, right? Like funny, delightful, funny, strange, and sometimes funny haha too. And sometimes just bafflingly funny, strange, the way that things unfold. But finding flow is probably the greatest gift that we can give ourselves, to not resist the way things are. Because when we can be present, truly present to the way things are, we have the ability to be responsive in a way that we can't when we're resisting. When we're resisting the way things are, we're so stuck in our idea of how things should be that we can't necessarily see all the nuance of the opportunities and options that are available to us. But when we can be present, when we can be in flow with life, and when we're dancing with life instead of against it, then the opportunities are available to us. We can see more clearly what is actually happening. And when we can see more clearly what's happening, there's more available to us. I don't know a better way to say it. So this notion of flow is not only self-nurturing, but it also opens the doors where it's kind of like living life with open arms, allowing life in, and as we've said before, holding life with open hand so that we collaborate and we're able to receive life more fully in that way. So that's it for today. A demonstrative experience. It's pretty awesome. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. And I go live here each weekday morning on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel. And I invite you to like, follow, and share Enlightened World Network and me. The links are in the description. And as always, I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have these conversations, to share the thoughts together. And until next time, so much love to you.